This is For the Culture.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to For the Culture. This is Dr. CI in another episode, and I am here today to talk to you about how women are often over-mentored and mistreated by male mentors. Now, I want to be very clear about the fact that the main thing here is that mentors who are male often tend to mistreat women who are their mentees unconsciously, but also consciously. Let's be clear that it exists in both ways. I'm not going to make an excuse for you and say that you don't realize that you're doing it. But what I am going to say is that this is a problem. Now, when I say that this is a problem, the main thing is that male mentors often mistreat and disrespect their female mentees. Okay? That's the overarching issue here. Now, what is it that we know? My company ran a study and we looked at mentee programs. We looked at mentoring programs. I did this a really long time ago in 2016 when I was first interested in mentoring, and I'm starting to see that some of the trends are still existing today. And as a woman, especially a Black woman who has been mentored and been mistreated by my mentors, and I've been a mentor, I feel like it was important for us to have a conversation, and especially for male mentors to see this video, to hear this video, and know how to show up for your female identified mentees. Y'all get it? Got it? Good. Now, here's what we know. The number of men in executive and leadership, senior leader positions, especially in Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 companies, exceedingly outnumbers the number of women in those positions, especially in CEO positions. Men, y'all outnumber us. And we get it. That exists, but we need you to understand the barriers for why you got there in the first place. And it's not because you haven't worked hard. It's not because you're not smart, but it is also due to the fact that you just have less barriers along the way because the systems were often built with you in mind and your privilege. That's male privilege. The fact that you don't often listen to women when we speak and you interrupt us is a privilege because you don't feel like you have to. Because you truly never really had to in a professional setting, right? You've looked down upon women because society has taught you to do that. You see us in submissive roles. And it's not that a woman can't be submissive, because I'm not saying there's anything wrong with submission. But what I am saying is when you look at submission as a weakness and say that this makes her weaker than me and I don't have to respect her the same way that I expect her to respect me, or with the amount of equal energy when I do it. Y'all get that? That's what I'm saying, is that even in a mentee to mentor relationship, bias exists. And often when you look at your mentees, you look at them as a vessel for you to give knowledge to give information to, and like their experiences can't help to inform you. So you talk down to them without even knowing that you are doing it. And then you wonder why they shy away from you or don't call on you for support, because they're tired of being beat up by you. We're tired of being beat up by you in the workplace. We're tired of you interrupting us. And we're tired of you making us feel invincible or invalidating us if and when we tell you that we have a problem. For example, if your mentee comes to you and says, I'm having a problem with this, and you say, oh, he probably didn't mean it like that. That person at work probably didn't mean to treat you like that. Yeah, we get it. You trying to make them feel better. But what happens in the process of you trying to make them feel better is that you actually make them feel worse because you've invalidated their experience, right? Or you say, oh, you don't need to worry about that. You can just brush it off. Nah, we want you to help us deal with it. You are a mentor, so mentor, right? You got to understand that when we see that in the workplace, when we face that in the workplace, it's constant. It's just not a one-off incident. It's something that women over years, over generations have been reporting is happening to them in the workplace. It is time for you to start to pay attention. Now, mentorship can be a great path to leveling up. It can help you get through an organization. Remember, a mentor speaks to you and a sponsor speaks for you, and you should have them both. But what I'm saying is that mentor can help you to level up. But when you have your mentee and your female mentee comes to you and says that she wants to be the CEO of her own company, or she wants to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you got to start envisioning her as a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. What skills does she need to get there? Who does she need to know in order to get there? But the main thing is you got to understand the barriers that she's going to face in order to get there from people who look like you, who think like you. And then you got to find strategy to help her overcome it. Does that make sense? Now, there's 3 things that female mentees often report. The first one is, I've said it before, constantly being interrupted by men in professional settings, even their mentees. The next is vitally important, so listen to me. You want to give them more advice than you do opportunities. All of y'all men who are in the workplace that say, we want to give back, we want to help women, we want to be an ally, I'm going to be a mentor. Good for you. Now, when you go to see your female mentee, understand that she is also looking for opportunities and not just advice. Nobody wants a mentor that's not going to help them level up. Do you get that? So when this woman or female identified person comes to you and says, I'm looking for opportunities, that means she wants you to help her network. That means she wants you to prepare her on how to network. She wants you to teach her how to open up spaces to be able to do that. She don't need you to mansplain to her the same thing that she's heard 100 times from another mentor. Give her something new to work with. Men, you have a harder time seeing a mentorship as a two-way street. You got to be able to look at women and understand that they have something to offer. Because if you're working in a workplace that is multi-gender identified, meaning there's multiple gender identities walking around there, you got to understand that if there's a majority of men in the building, even sometimes women who don't look like her, she gonna face challenges. What skill do you have to help her navigate those and overcome those and not ignore those? We need solutions. So you can't just push us past the problem and expect that the problem is never gonna be there again. You got to help us push the problem out the way and remove it for other women. We want to create pathways for generational success for female identified persons in the workplace. Does that make sense? Y'all get it? Y'all got it? Good. Y'all ready for these solutions? Here's solution number 1. I want y'all to build a mentorship program in your companies that is based on diversity, equity, and inclusion and performance, and measuring performance and giving people rewards if and when they help complete mentorship relationships successfully. So for your mentors, I want you to establish a reward program for them giving up their time in order to help and support other people level up in the company. What's the reward that you're going to give them? What is that going to look like? Next is measure the results of your internship program. I want you to create metrics around demographics that track how well your mentors are doing and show the way that they impact performance for mentees. And I want you to look at that based on identity. How well are they supporting Black people? How well are they supporting women? How well are they supporting LGBTQIA plus populations? Are they successful? What does succession look like in your company, and how has mentorship impacted that? Does that make sense? Those are my solutions. You know, I tend to get y'all out of here quickly. I'm Dr. CI of Diversity and Inclusology, and I am happy to be in the building. I'll see y'all again next week, and we'll have another conversation about something that is for the culture. So stay tuned. Y'all be easy. I'm out.